Hello and welcome to Sailing Elsie. My name is Seth and I aim to earn your subscription today. All right, so the beginning of a new week, plenty of projects to do. First one on my list is to put some eye bolts in the transom of the dinghy so that I can put it on the davit. So let's go ahead and get that going. Thinking I'm going to go up in this corner here on each side and put the eye bolt on the inside. All right, let's get her in the water and put the engine on. All right, engine's on. Now let's set it up for the davit and see if we can get it up. And here we go. All right, let's give this a go and see what happens. Well, looks like it's up. It's a beautiful day in Lodi this morning. It is super calm, just a slight breeze, sunshine, blue skies, and I think today the project is going to be to let all 300 feet of the half-inch anchor chain out, verify that the end of it is secured to the boat, and then the previous owner told me that he thinks there is 3/8 chain underneath that half-inch chain. And what I want to do is take that 3/8 inch chain and move it to the rear of the boat for a rear anchor situation. So let's get into it. All right, so I can use the wireless remote that I put on recently, and we can let it down here in the front, and then I can go downstairs and we can watch it pay out from downstairs and make sure I don't pay it all out. All right, let's get it going. Sunrise paints the Caribbean sky, turquoise water in my eye, sail unfurled, wind at my back, island rhythm on the right track. Okay, let's kick her off a little bit. Yeah, she's not self-launching. You got to get her just a little bit started. Oh, we're getting a little hung up here. Let's go in. Across the Atlantic to the landscapes, a breathtaking scene. Then south where the waves crash and the wild winds roll. Okay, now let's go downstairs. tied off to some buck line and a clevis. So I'm not sure what I'll do about this right now. I think I'm going to take it off and untwist the end and reel her back in. And then I'll show you guys that's the 3/8 chain that I want to move to the rear of the boat. Some decent mooring line, and I don't know what else is up there. We'll find out. There's a couple spears, spearfishing spears in here. Anyway, here's what this. That's the end of it. Tie some rope. Maybe you can look down here to see where it goes, but that's so you don't pay out all your chain and say goodbye to it in the middle of the ocean. Anyway, I'm sweating a little bit in here. We will be back. Let me figure out what the next step is, and I will see you then. All right, so I want to end this chain, meaning I want the loose end or the tail end of what it was to be on the anchor now, and put the portion that was the anchor on the other end. So I'm just trying to think of how to do that. I think I might maybe slowly pull up the chain and then walk it down the side of the boat and make rows, back and forth until I get it all in. It's 300 feet. So if I just using numbers here, if I do 30-foot runs, I should have 10 back and forths, or 5 back and forth, making 60 feet each. So I'll give that a try, and then we'll see how that goes. Got to run down the side here. This stuff is darn heavy. So got the anchor just to come up. Alright, so you can see the chain on the right is nice and coated with the zinc or whatever it is they use for galvanization, and then stuff on the left has worn off, so we are going to start using the well-coated stuff and put the rusty end into the locker. Very, very rarely get used. And I've been thinking, I mean, you can see the real difference here. Here's what's on there, and here's what's going to be on there. So I've thought about possibly doing a derusting and regalvanization video sometime, but that's going to be way down the road. I've got way more important things to do. Anyway, let me get this flipped over and put the chain down in the hole. All right, look at that. Nice galvanized chain, and no more icky deck. This that rust skid mark goes all the way back where I laid the chain out, but I'm going to power wash it soon, get this all cleaned up. Also, you might take a note that I've cleaned up all the stray lines and hung them up on the rails. Just really tidies up the place and makes the deck look much nicer. I gotta figure out something with this mess because I don't like the way that looks, even though it might be functional. It's not what I like to see. Same with over here. So anyway, got my work cut out for me for the next 20 years. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh. Oh. Uh-huh. Uh-oh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Oh, yeah. Bing. Hmm. Mm-hmm. 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 All right, so I am here with my good friend Mason, and we are working on changing the impeller for this engine so that we know that it is 100%. So, putting them to work. All right, Mason has never pulled one of these apart before. He has chosen to figure out what's in it instead of me telling him. So let's see how he does. All right. Does that plastic housing look like it's the same one that's on there?
Yeah. Same size, same thing.
Yeah. Same. We know your name?
Yep. So that is there. That piece goes there.
So I've driven this around the marina, but this is the first time that we'll be attempting to get it on plane. And we got Mason at the tiller, and we'll see. We got to get to the other side of that bridge, and we'll let her rip. Mason was such an incredible help. He was a cleaning machine and an organizing master. He took care of vacuuming and put everything into little bags, and he just did so much work. I thought for sure he was going to not want to come back. When I asked him if he wanted to come back the next day, he jumped at the opportunity. And we just genuinely had a good time. So, Mason, thank you so much for all of your help. And I look forward to having the opportunity to sail this boat with you. So this picture here is where there used to be a bed there. It was on a raised platform, and underneath the platform there were kegs, which the previous owner used for additional fuel storage. I thought I had pressed record when I tore this apart, but apparently I didn't, because there's no video file of me tearing this apart. So this is Mason just vacuuming up underneath there, and there's some rust down there. This boat has an interesting construction. There's a lot of aluminum, like all the walls are aluminum inside, the bulkheads are aluminum, and it looks to me like there was a iron or steel form that the lead was poured into, and that form is starting to rust and deteriorate. So Mason's there cleaning it up, and he's doing an amazing job. Tune in next week to see what Mason's reward is. Turns out he loves cleaning, organizing, and speakers. Hint, hint. So this is already episode 10. I can't believe it. The first 2 or 3 seemed like they took forever, and then now we're at 10. So let's take a quick minute and look at the YouTube analytics for the channel, see how we're doing. And I am quite excited. I have surpassed 1,000 views. That's amazing. That's great. Thank you, all of you. That's great. You can see here's where the day where I text everybody that I knew, and that it's been just growing and growing and growing. It's got a nice upward trajectory. So that is good to see. And I don't know what this number is here. It says 74 subscribers, and over here it says 77. So I'm not exactly sure what the discrepancy is there, but we are almost to 100. And that would be amazing. I need is it 1,000? 1,000 subscribers before I can start making money. So let's take a look here. It says that first video so far is my best amount of views, probably because I text everybody I knew. Transmission mission. That was just 2 weeks ago. 154 views. The one from last week, 120 views. The big fire, 120. So that's great. These are getting some views. And let's go into the content. So what does this show here? Oh, so here's something also that's pretty neat to see is this impressions here. That is YouTube showing the video, just the thumbnail. Like after somebody watches a video and it puts up suggested videos. So it's YouTube is showing my thumbnail to 9,600 people. And of those 9,600 people, 6.3% of them are clicking on my thumbnails. And I got to be honest, I haven't put a ton of energy into making catchy, catchy thumbnails and, borderline clickbaity titles. I think some of that stuff is really necessary, and that I will have to step my game up in that as I progress. But I'm not going to stress about it right now. I've got enough on my plate just doing what I'm doing. Excuse me. So let's see here. Okay, so this shows the click-through rate. And average view duration is only 4 minutes. So there's a lot of people that are clicking on it and just clicking out. So I got to step up my game a little bit there. Good to know. Now here's something that I like to see. It goes to show the what I was just talking about, the impressions. So the turquoise is new viewers, and the purple is returning viewers. So this is my first video. Essentially everybody's new, except for this one, which was probably me watching it over and over again. Anyway, you can see that as time goes on, YouTube is showing it more. Let me get this out of the way. Hey, get over here. Anyway, you can see over here that I'm getting a lot more new viewers. So that's new viewers on that day, 30, 10 returning viewers. That's great. I'm happy to see like this trajectory. So I got to step up my YouTube game a little bit. Let's see what this trends thing is all about. Okay, so this looks like other channels like mine, I'm guessing. I watch these guys all the time. Sailing Seabird. They bought a boat for $1 and they basically tore the whole thing down to nothing and are rebuilding it, and they're going to basically do the same thing I want to do, which is go sail and see amazing places. A cute couple. Really like them. Alright, so that's the quick wrap-up of the YouTube analytics. And I'm quite happy and proud of them. Thank you, all of you, for your part in this. Anyway, next week's episode, we will be getting back into selling things out of the storage unit. My goal is to get rid of that storage unit by the end of July. At this point, it might be a little tight to make that goal, but I'm going to shoot for it. If I go a month over, so what? I'll still be out of there at the end of August. And then I can move all those funds over to boat. Anyway, I love you all. Have a nice day. Thank you for watching.
This is where